Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So I want to talk about Devin Haney and his performance this past weekend versus George Kambosos. His rematch with George Kambosos, his first undisputed title defense. It was a wonderful performance. Devin Haney really went out there and did everything that he wanted to do, showed a lot of different things that I think the people wanted to see from him. It really wasn't too much that he could have improved on from the first fight, because the first fight was pretty much a shutout. He beat George Kambosos in every way, and as far as skill-wise, and just really controlled George Kambosos and kept him in check. So, I really want to touch on that. It was a great weekend of boxing in general. I did do the post-fight reaction for the Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius fight. It was so much going on. I really didn't get a chance to do all of the immediate post-fight reactions for Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall, Alicia versus Michaela Mayer, the Caleb Plant versus Anthony Durrell fight. And shout out to Caleb Plant because he really impressed me. I thought Durrell was going to somehow be able to pull that off, but he got a little too overzealous and Caleb Plant made him pay for it. So shout out to Caleb Plant. That was a big performance. And, so I will speak about those fights and kind of give my thoughts as we go on through the week and what's next for those guys. But I really want to touch on Devin Haney's performance because it's really important to really shed light on the way Devin Haney has been carrying himself inside the ring and outside the ring, and how he's propelled himself to this point that we see. We saw the whole journey. We saw Devin Haney at 16 years old turning pro, going over there to Mexico, to get fights, and then coming over here at age 17 to the U.S., starting his campaign at 135, man, and really just, trying to build himself up, getting as many fights as he could possibly get just to get that experience, get those rounds, and then ultimately, man, getting to the contender stage where he's in contention for title eliminators and these, subtitles, to be able to put himself ultimately in a position to fight for a world title, calling out Lomachenko, calling out Teofimo Lopez when Robert Easter Jr. had the belt, calling him out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was 17, 18 calling out Robert Easter Jr. This guy has been chasing these dudes down, calling out Jojo Diaz, calling out George Kambosos, and finally somebody was willing to get in the ring, calling out Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? Finally, somebody was willing to get in the ring with this guy and really give him that canvas to paint the perfect picture, really giving him that opportunity to show to the world what he can do. I remember when the whole idea of Devin Haney having to go over to Australia back-to-back, conceding so many different things to George Kambosos, who's clearly the lesser fighter skill-wise, and then the lesser fighter when it comes to branding and having a fan base, and he was the less popular guy. So it was like absurd for Devin Haney to concede these things to George Kambosos. So I understood where people were coming from that perspective. Like, bruh, you bigger than this guy, you better than him. Ain't no way you should be having to go over there back to back, and then how you gonna win? You ain't got no knockout power, so how you gonna win on the cards? They gonna rob you. You seen what they did to Manny Pacquiao with Jeff Horn. So all these people had these pessimistic mindsets. All these people that they was afraid, they was scared, they was worried. But the whole time, Devin Haney, he wasn't tripping at all. Whole time, Devin Haney stood 10 toes and he said, okay, this is the deal that they offering. This is the only opportunity that I'm going to get to prove myself and to become the rightful undisputed champion. I have the WBC belt, and these other guys, passing around these other 3 belts, and they really ain't trying to get no real smoke. Well, Devin Haney said, look, I'm going to put a stop to all this. I'm going to take that deal that they offering, and I'm going to go over there and whoop his ass. And that's exactly what he did the first time, outclassed him. And now this fight, the second go around, beat him up bad. Devin Haney went out there and, you know, he was patient in the first few rounds. George Kambosos even switched southpaw early in the fight. Tried some different things. Kudos to George Kambosos. He actually did try some different stuff. I wouldn't necessarily say that his game plan was effective, but I appreciate the fact that they did try something different. Went out there in southpaw. Was a little bit more aggressive than he was way more aggressive in my opinion than he was the first fight, which is why he got busted up so bad, because the more aggressive you are against somebody like a Devin Haney who is very sharp with the counter punching, who got good defense, and can make you miss and make you pay, you gonna get picked off a lot, especially when you're not a very skilled come forward fighter or pressure fighter. George Kambosos is not an extremely skilled pressure fighter. That's never been his thing. George Kambosos likes to fight you in a chess match in the middle of the ring and go, you know, counter for counter and try to catch you in between punches and shit. That's what he do. So the fact that he had no other choice but to press Devin Haney, I already knew from that standpoint that he was at a disadvantage. And sure enough, he took the only opportunity that he could possibly have to win by pressing forward on Devin Haney, trying to be aggressive and trying to land that big knockout shot. And Devin Haney just took advantage of him, man. And you seen Devin Haney get cut. After that, it seemed like Devin Haney just even became more aggressive. He became, more dominant in the fight. He started landing the beautiful 1-2. I love Devin Haney's 1-2, the jab, straight right. He was landing that straight right accurately and at will. He was catching Kambosos with the left hook, bloodied him up, had Kambosos both his eyes cut up, you know what I'm saying, had blood everywhere, man. I mean, this was a wonderful performance by Devin Haney, and I feel like he put a lot of people on notice and let people know, man, look, when it come down to getting in the trenches, man, having a dogfight, and this was no dogfight by any means, but just to show that heart and that dog, that aggressiveness, whether you get the knockout or not, just to show that you're willing to fight. And another misconception about Devin Haney is that he don't have no power. Well, if he didn't have no power, why these guys ain't just running through there just throwing everything they can at him, just throwing caution to the wind and fighting them like it's a street fight? You know why? Because they know if they do that, they gonna get caught with something and get knocked the fuck out, or they gonna get their ass beat real bad, and it ain't gonna look good for them. So Devin Haney definitely has some respectable power that's keeping these guys at bay and keeping them in check. So, you know, a lot of people talked about how Devin Haney looked leading up to the fight as far as the weigh-in, how his face was visibly emaciated and drained. He was, and he's looked like that previously in the Jojo Diaz weigh-in, in the first George Kambosos fight weigh-in. This time I thought he looked even more drained than usual. You know, but on fight night, he rehydrated nicely, and he was able to get out there. And he's 23 years old, so, you know, at this age, you can still get away with draining yourself down. And he got a nutritionist, which is good. That helps him put the weight back on healthy and not be sluggish and sacrifice your punch resistance on fight night. But I think it's really about time that he move up real soon, if not the next fight. He did mention after this that he wants to stay at 135 to take on the likes of a Shakur Stevenson or a Vasyl Lomachenko. And he's willing to defend his undisputed crown yet again, even at the cost of him sacrificing, you know, his body to make that weight. So that's another commendable thing. I want to also talk about after the fight how Bill Haney, shout out to Trill Bill Haney, man, the level of character that they showed after the fight, giving respect to George Kambosos and his team, taking him backstage to take a picture with Devin Haney, man. And again, you seen this has been a consistent theme from Devin Haney after his fights, you know, chopping it up with his opponent backstage, talking about the fight, man. Like this is what I saw. What did you think about my performance? You know, man, I thought you did this well. What did you think I could have got better at? How did you feel about my power? These are the type of things that separate Devin Haney from his peers. He's a consummate professional inside and out the ring. And he showed you, and the biggest part about all of this is that even though he's such a true professional, in regard to how he treats opponents, how he respect his opponents. If they get out of line, he willing to talk his shit too. He gonna return the same energy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, this guy, he wants to fight the best. He want to fight anybody. After the fight, he said, I'm willing to take on all comers. We don't have a lot of champions like that in the sport of boxing. This guy's the undisputed champion, yet he is forcibly and willingly calling out guys and saying that he want to fight the best. And I believe Devin Haney because he ain't showed nothing different from that. I ain't never seen Devin Haney duck no smoke. I ain't never seen Devin Haney turn down no phase. This man truly wants to prove that he's the best. I love the fact that after his fight, post-fight interview, he said, I am the best fighter in the world. I feel like I'm the best fighter on the planet, and I'm willing to take on anybody to prove that. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney is a different type of guy. I'm telling y'all, you might not like his style. It might not be very exciting to you. You might not like the fact that he don't have one punch devastating knockout power. However, you gotta respect the way this man move. You gotta respect the way his team move him. Those guys really want to fight the best, and they really believe in their guy. Devin Haney believes in himself, and his team really believe in Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he trains his ass off, he focus on his craft, he stays sharp, and he go out there and he perform. You know what I'm saying? That is to be commended. If Devin Haney didn't gain you as a fan, if you wasn't a fan before, then I don't really know what you respect in the sport of boxing, because everything that you should respect in the sport of boxing, Devin Haney got that. You feel what I'm saying? So I think this guy, this young man at 23 years old is a leader in the sport, really showing these older guys how to move, really leading the way for the younger guys, showing them, look, this how you move. This how you carry yourself inside and out the ring. When it's time to show up, you take on whoever that's knocking at your door. You go whoop their ass, and then you get back in the gym. You stay sharp. You stay ready. And after the fights, you know what I'm saying, when you outside the ring, you show respect to your opponent. Yeah, you let them know you want to whoop their ass, but at the same time, you going to prepare for them with respect. So that way you don't get out there and look crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. How did y'all feel about Devin Haney's performance? You know, what did you see as far as improvements from the first fight to this fight? And then what you want to see next from Devin Haney? I would love to see Devin Haney get Lomachenko next, whether it's at 135 or 140. I know Lomachenko got a fight coming up. Hopefully, you know, he got a little tune-up coming up. We gonna see what he do after that. You know what I'm saying? Because Loma been ducking for a long time. So hopefully he takes the fight. You know, I would prefer Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson next. But I actually think that fight, if it don't happen next at 135, I think down the line in the next 2 to 4 fights, we'll possibly get that at 140. You know what I'm saying? After Devin Haney becomes champion at 140, bring Shakur up to fight for a title at 140. You know, sweeten the deal for him, make it worthwhile. So, and you know, we really don't know what Tank Davis and them got going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they really want no smoke with Devin Haney right now. I mean, it just is what it is. I'm not saying Tank's scared. I've been on record to say that Tank Davis should be the favorite in that fight. However, you know, if he allows Devin Haney to continue to get sharp and get better and better, it ain't going to be nothing but even more difficult task for Tank Davis down the line to be able to beat this guy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to come down to the point where even though Tank Davis has exceptional boxing skills, it's going to come down to the point where he going to have to just be able to land a perfect shot on Haney. And if he can't do it, he going to get beat on the cards. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this kid is getting better and better, man. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.